Friggin' what up, dude? Strider Wilson, I'm the host of this podcast that's mine, going to be called History is Dank. History is Dank with Strider Wilson. Dankness from the ground. Friggin' what up, dude? Welcome back to another ep of History is Dank, dude. I'm your host, Strider Wilson, dude. We got Aaron beasting it on the sticks, dude. What up, Aaron?
What up?
Dude, I'm just freaking chilling, dude. Here's the thing, dude. I got to address this real quick, dude. If there's any Danktorians who are also stokers, dude, who are also freaking, listening to Joe Code, hog
coders.
masters. What do we call Joe Code, dudes?
Coders.
Coders, I love it. I recently said I was out on blonde dudes. I was like, if you got blonde hair and you can't skate, you can't even do a pop shove it. Kickflip might have been too harsh. But if you can't ollie. I was like, I'm out on you, we're not chilling. And maybe that's too harsh, dude. Chad's got blonde hair and he's the man, dude. And there's other dudes that I know that have blonde hair that surf and skate. They surf, skate, snow. And which means they beasted all 4 seasons of the year on a board. And maybe I'm just like, there's this one barista named Keith who had who was wearing shorts while he was at work being a barista. First of all, I was like, what? And then I saw his leg tattoos and I was like, this guy doesn't even play rugby because he's got skinny legs. These are not oak trees like they should be if you play rugby. And so I was just like, and then, he messed up my order and I didn't say anything about it. I just decided I was out on blonde dudes quietly to myself and then announced it to the world. And here's the thing, dude, blonde dudes can be chill too, and you can't control, what color hair you're going to have or body type you're going to get. But if you bleach your hair, I'm still fucking out on you, dude. And if you can't skate. And if you bleach it for the coral and you can't skate, then that's chill. That's chill. That's chill. Like, if you bleach your blonde hair, Aaron, you better be a vocalist in a punk band, dude. Or you better be cruising on a time machine from an Offspring concert in 97. Or you freaking better be a male porn star. Okay? I think it's about authenticity. That's what it is. And if you're a dad who has bleached, you imagine if your dad has bleached hair, dude.
That's weird.
You're just asking your kid not to listen to you.
Yeah.
If you're a dad and you have a backpack, what?
Yeah.
Get a briefcase. I think that's what they give you, like in the maternity ward. There's probably like a paternity ward. Like, where you stare at all the babies in the incubators or whatever, dude. I think dads, there's another room in the paternity ward, and it's just dads pointing at briefcases, being like, that's my briefcase now. And then the morgue is below that, and that's just where their backpacks go. You can't be a dad with a backpack. Am I right, Aaron?
Yeah, no.
I mean, are you even allowed to be an adult with a cast? Like, if you're an adult and you have a cast, and you were like, I was like riding my e-bike, if I'm the boss of that work, you're immediately demoted, dude. Like, you're not getting a raise that year. You're making bad choices, dude.
It's going to be reflected on your performance review for
Correct.
Sure.
Yeah. No one's signing that freaking cast either, dude. Freaking 50-year-old dude with bleached hair and a neon cast being like, I fell on my bike. The fuck? So.
Well, what if you have a cast from like a car accident?
It's the only excuse. But even then, dude, what are you doing, dude? Driving drunk. Kidding. What are you doing? I mean, that's like your one excuse.
Trusting my Tesla to make the right turns.
Yeah, exactly. You were trusting your automated car. You're going to be the guinea pig, dude. Get out. So that's true. There are a few, and this is to the point of why I'm being a little too judgy. There are exceptions to every rule, but generally, if you bleach your hair, you better be able to skate. Or like I said, be a male porn star or friggin' definitely, hopefully not a stepdad or a real dad. Not that stepdads aren't real dads. I should say biological. So, I'm not out on all blonde dudes. I just want to address that. There's a lot of chillers out there. Chillers of all shapes and sizes out there. So it's about authenticity. Like, do you need to be French to be a street artist? I don't know.
Or to be a mime.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably.
Yeah. Do you think all mimes at night go tagging?
Probably.
What if your kid got into tagging, Aaron? Like that's what your kid liked doing, dude. Like putting on beanies and just like crawling up freeway overpasses and, you know, writing letters that you can't quite understand but look kind of sick.
That's rough. I mean, I doubt there are many female taggers out there, but, you know, prove me wrong. But
maybe Banksy's female, dude.
Could be.
We don't know.
You never know.
Banksy's French, right?
I believe he's English.
Really? So I guess you don't have to be French to be a street artist. See, we're having breakthroughs on this pod, dude. That's what's up, dude. That's what we're doing today, dude. We're here and we're tackling authenticity today, dude. And leads me perfectly into our subject for today's episode, which is palm trees in SoCal, dude. Are they even from SoCal? They're everywhere. They're ubiquitous, which is a dank word. There's your 10-cent word for the day. It just means everywhere. Like if Joe gets a boner, it is ubiquitous. It is everywhere. It is also omnipotent and omnipresent. But where are these palm trees from, dude, that are gracing the LA skylines? Iconic. When you think SoCal, you immediately think In-N-Out, probably. But then right after that, you think palm trees. Like when you close your eyes and you envision SoCal, there's a palm tree in there. There's the coast. Maybe you're looking out over the coast, and there's some palm trees leading up to that beach, out to that water. It's just how it looks in your dome. You know, I picture Boston, you know, I'm thinking of the town. I'm thinking of like bricks and cobblestone alleyways and stuff like that, you know? And a dude hammered just throwing up in a Celtics jersey. That's what I picture, dude. When I think of LA, it's palm trees, smog, and dank tacos. But it turns out these palm trees are not native to SoCal, dude. It's a farce, dude, which is a lot of Los Angeles especially, you know, there's a lot that people are saying, but not necessarily doing. You know, they're talking the talk, but they ain't walking the walk. And when it comes to these palm trees, I got to tell you, there is in fact only one native palm tree to California. It's the California fan palm. It's known as the Washingtonia filifera. Okay? All of LA's other palm species, from the slender Mexican fan palms that line so many of LA's boulevards to the feather-topped Canary Island date palm, they've all been imported, okay? The California fan palm, also known as the Arizona fan palm, it's the only native palm, in fact, in the United States, specifically the Southwest. It's grown naturally in the wild as far east as Colorado and as far north as Wyoming. You imagine that, dude? Palm trees in Wyoming? Speaking of authenticity, I mean, you imagine when you think of Wyoming, you're thinking the open plains, you're thinking cowboys, you know? Thinking rodeos, dude. Thinking freaking horse whips and rugged dicks, you know? I think like, you know when cowboys, this is a little blue, sorry, but I just had this thought and I have to share it. When a cowboy is on the open plain, you know, on the range, herding the cattle, he's got to probably drill himself. Am I right, Aaron?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. And you got to imagine he's using his hands to work. So he's got rugged, coarse hands. So I feel like his dong's got to be rugged and coarse as well, right?
Yeah.
Leathery. Cowboys probably have leathery dongs, now that I think about it. Maybe cowboys were the first ribbed for her pleasure. So you got fossils of these palms, these California fan palms, the Washingtonia filifera, dating back to 50 to 70 million years. So badass, dude. These trees are pretty badass, bro. They live up to 80 to 90 years. They grow 75 feet tall. The leaves, which are known as fronds, palm tree frond, they have a fan-like and they fold like an accordion. These leaves can reach about 6 feet long and wide, so almost, a Maurice-size hog. And of course, when I say that, I mean the 75-foot tall tree. And these are big-ass trees, dude. I love big-ass trees. It's badass. People go, oh, tree huggers. Oh, you love the trees? What's wrong with loving the trees, dude? Trees are bad. Like I would, there's always a tough dude with a pit bull. He's like, dude, careful, dude. Don't go by my pit bull, bro. He'll freaking, he might nap at you, dude. He's a good guy, but, if you go next to him, dude, he'll clamp down. He's got lockjaw. So sorry, dude's like, sorry, dude, when I party, I have to bring my Rottweiler with me. Sorry, dude, just have to have it, dude. I put my cocaine around his collar. I'm like, think about how sick it would be if there was a badass dude who was like, it's my Washingtonian Phil Ferro, dude. It's a king palm, and I just wheel it around in a barrow. And actually, the cops never look there. I bury my cocaine in the pot. And then if you go to a house party, he's got trees in his backyard. Those are sick-ass trees, dude. He's like, I'm honestly on old dudes and cool dude sides. People are like, get off the lawn or like, get off my grass. Like, dude, that's part of their pets, dude. They tend to these things. They love them and give him nurturing and caring. If you're at that dude's house party and you piss next to one of his palms, dude, next to a canary palm, he'll cut your dick off. And I want it noted for the record, this is 2 pods in a row now where I've mentioned dicks being cut off. That's what we do here on History is Dank.
Hell yeah.
So, Aaron, when did these trees get here? These iconic SoCal trees that are so SoCal.
I mean, I'd assume it has to come with the Spanish.
You're right. There was a boom with the connection of the Transcontinental Railroad when it reached Southern California in 1876. It was a marketing plan. Let's make California look like this beautiful place. The palm trees are just, it's one of those trees you're immediately stoked. Who looks at a palm tree and doesn't get stoked? Am I right?
Yeah.
It's a sick ass tree. Also, it's kind of a tree that is just purely for aesthetic in view. Like, it doesn't provide shade. The food from these canary palms, like, it has dates and stuff. You can eat them, but they're not tasty. So it is truly just for aesthetic reasons. They require quite a bit of water, actually, and California's like always in a drought. So, in fact, the native palm that we talked about, the Washingtonia filifera, they only grow like in a desert oasis or where there's like a nice canyon with, pretty solid shade and flowing water under there. And in fact, a lot of the trees that they bring to SoCal, they'll grow them large, like out in the desert oasis area, like where Coachella is in India. What up, dude? And then bring them to LA. Once they've reached maturity, because it's tough to get them to grow, and you have to really tend to a palm tree quite a bit. So that tough bro, if you take a piss next to his canary palm, dude, he probably will cut your dick off, and he'll probably be high on coke. So it's going to be one foul swoop. He might even rip it off. But before the Transcontinental Railroad, where the railroad was like in the state of California, like there already was the gold rush boom, but now they're like, let's fill out the rest of this state, bro. Let's get people cruising out here, dude, starting their new lives, which they were doing naturally. But how are we going to sell this? How are we going to market California? Let's put some sick ass Spanish style architecture and some sick ass palm trees in the background, and it makes sense because that's kind of how it's always looked. Because the Spanish, the missionaries, dudes like Junipero Serra, they were planting palms next to their missions, 21 missions that line the coast of California. And they would also plant mustard seeds, which are like they have biblical reference. Also, the palms do that as well. They go, wait, why'd these Franciscan monks, why'd they choose to put palm trees next to their missions? Well, one, they look sick. They get you stoked. But two, the religious purpose of, Jesus and Palm Sunday. So there was that. But mainly they just look fucking sick, dude. They do require a lot of water, but guess what, dude? The Franciscan monks were being not nice dudes, and they were using the natives for their labor, and they're like, we'll just go get natives or go get water for us. So, and there's always a little bit of, when it's history, it's never always stoke filled, it's sad, but that's why we do this, dude. We got to learn the history. Otherwise we're doomed to repeat it. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically the region's predominant decorative plant, dude. Its exotic association helped enforce the inventing of the dream. You go to California where your dreams can be realized. You come to Los Angeles where dreams come to die, especially in the entertainment career. Oh, look out, dude. You wake up and soon enough it's a nightmare. And I'm not talking from personal experience. I'm chill. Aaron, I'm chill.
I know.
I'm good.
I know, I'm aware.
Yeah, dude, I'm good. You know, I stepped off the bus, and immediately I got off the bus, and an agent was like, you kid, you got this stuff. Come into my office. Let me show you something. Let me show you something rugged. Where are you from, Wyoming? Yeah, you know it's rugged. You want to be in a movie? Sorry, that got a little dark there. Got a little bit dark. But you know what? Sometimes you have to touch the darkness in order to become a star. That's me just being a sick fuck. That's Convertible Craig. Hey! Hop in, let's cruise around. Let me show you some trees. Nah, dude. Convertible Craig, dude. You got pulled over, dude. Sorry, bro. So, I mean, that's basically, dude, in case you didn't know, myth busted, bro. Palm trees in SoCal, not native, do require a lot of water, don't help our droughts, but they live for a long time, and they're deep-rooted, dude. Like, you know, you watch T2 Judgment Day after that nuclear blast, there's still a few palm trees standing, Aaron. They're standing strong, bro.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If you want to be dank, there are some CA native trees. So maybe this is talking to the Californians, but this message goes to wherever you live. If you plant native plants in your yard or around, it's going to provide a habitat for those local birds and mammals, which is just so cute, and all other hosts of life forms, both big and small. Think about this. It just transcends all elements, or I should say, stages or classes of nature. If you build a 6 stair outside of a library with a sick rail on it, skaters will flock there, will attract local teenagers with bleached hair who probably like vaping and, you know, are over reading. Will go in to the library and try to find the Kama Sutra, which I used to always do. I would ask the librarian, where's the Kama Sutra? I needed to study. And the librarian would go, shake her head and say, get out. And then I would just go outside and skate. So, just in the same, very, very same way that a 6 stair, 9 stair, or even a nice ass railing or legit curb will attract skaters. And native skaters, honestly, sometimes skaters might even travel there if it's so sick. Like the sick ass embankment at Laguna Beach High School, or the sick ass portable gap that you can ollie that Chad Muska did on the intro to Tony Hawk Pro Skater video, which was so sick at Dana Hills, where he used to play NGB basketball. What up? So if you plant these native plants, they will not only grow, they will require less maintenance, and you'll get cute ass birds chirping in your yard. Birds chirping in the morning is annoying as fuck. It wakes me up. But also, here's the thing. Now that my fantasy team sucks, I wake up early now, I have a cup of coffee, and I enjoy mornings. Aaron, I'm enjoying mornings now, dude. Think about that, bro. I used to hate waking up, and I'd have to do it every day. It's why I don't nap. Why would I want to wake up twice in one day? Fuck that.
Whoa.
Now I'll wake up early, sip a cup of coffee. I have tidy whities that I just go outside and put on. I stand in the cold in my underwear and just let the coffee warm me up from the inside out as I listen to the birds chirp and I watch nature. You know, are my neighbors terrified just watching me with 1,000-yard stares? I think they're, you know, just thinking about what I can do better next season in fantasy, and, you know, how moving to LA maybe was a huge mistake and I should have just, you know, gone to trade school and learned how to fix air conditioners on top of buildings, you know, for corporate companies and get those big contracts. Maybe that'd be tight, doing something with my hands. But no, I need the love. I need the ha-has. I need that ha-has, that comedy cocaine, baby. Those ha-has. I need it. I gotta have it. Give me those ha-has. Give me that. That's when I'm just sitting there thinking about in the morning, sipping a scalding hot coffee in my tidy whities. I'm like Michael Jordan. I never wear the same ones twice. You never wore the same underwear twice, or same undershirt twice. It's badass. It's also wasteful, but it's badass. So you plant these trees, and I'll give you a list if you're in California, but you can look this up for wherever you live. They got the Catalina cherry, of course, native to California because it only grows on Catalina Island in the Channel Islands region, actually. So I shouldn't have said that. I should immediately backpedal. There are some specimens on the California mainland as well. So that'd be tight. If you're a schmoll, if you're a fucking schmoll and you like Catalina, which of course you do, you might want to plant a Catalina cherry in your yard. And guess what? You have cherries. That's sick, although they're not good, they're bitter. But still, that's tight. Guess what? You'll get little cute birds that will come and eat those cherries. and you can stand outside in a robe if you want to. Me, I'm honestly going to almost do it naked. I've thought about doing it naked, but, you know, I don't want to go to jail. It's good. That's what jail's good for, dude. You know, keeps you from just getting naked in public. There's a plant called the island ironwood. Very awesome. Native to southern and central Cali, baby. What up? Elevations between 100 and 1,600 feet. So, you know, can grow. That's not how tall the tree is, but that's where it grows above sea level. Not that great looking of a tree. I might skip it. There's a California nutmeg. Guess what? You can make some good cookies. My dank-ass fiance's brother has a nutmeg tree in his yard, and guess what? Him and his dank-ass GF make dank-ass cookies when we go down there from the tree in their backyard. How nice is that? I'm going to parties now where my main phrase of just, you know, it used to just be chug, chug, fuck yeah, dude. You know, we're staying up all night. Let's move to Florida. It's usually what I would say. Now I'm just saying stuff like, huh, how nice is that? Or, hey guys, we're going to head out. Got to be up early tomorrow. What do you have to do? Absolutely nothing. I just have to get up at 5 a.m. and just stare at the freaking sun come up in my underwear. And then a guy will go, oh man, how terrifying is that? And I'll go, I don't know. Why don't you ask my neighbor who's an old lady who doesn't come out in the morning anymore? Stays buttoned up in her house. Where she belongs, damn it. Kidding. I mean, there's more here, but let me just get to the ones that I like. Mountain mahogany. Who doesn't love mahogany? Who doesn't love the smell of mahogany? The Fremont cottonwood, probably something that you cannot plant in your yard. Might be a zoning issue, but if you've got a little bit of land, it's going to be, it's really beautiful, and it's a deciduous tree. Aaron, for my money, I mean, this is something that I'll talk about at a party now. I'll literally go up to a guy. I'm meeting a lot of dudes named Craig these days. Just meeting a lot of dudes named Craig. I'm partying with a lot of Craigs. You know, I go up and immediately they'll come up to me. They'll go, hey, nice khakis. I'll go, thanks, you too. And I'll go, hey, for my money, I like deciduous trees. I really starting to appreciate them. Now, I know an evergreen's nice, you know, but, you know, you don't have to, in deciduous, you do have a little bit of cleanup, but honestly, be happy in your work. You know, isn't that nice? And just when the leaves change, doesn't it really just makes your attitude just really, really nice. Really, really lifts you up. As the leaves fall, the spirits somehow lift. And then I'll look at Craig and I'll fucking put him in a headlock, dude. And I'll say, what's happening to us? Why are we changing like this, dude? We used to be chill. And then he'll say, get off me. Actually, no, a lot of these Craigs do adult exercises, they do dork exercises, which actually translate to good fighting. They're like adults who do Taekwondo, who immediately, like that's like, I've talked about adults there. If you're an adult who's got a backpack, bleached hair, a cast on, and you do Taekwondo, you're a fucking dork, but guess what? You also might be badass, because maybe in that backpack you might still carry a bong. You've got bleached hair, which is pretty tight. You're keeping it young to hide those grays. You're hurt because maybe you got hurt at Taekwondo. Or you got hurt from me putting you in a headlock. So, you know, you can't judge a book by its cover. But if I do walk by a mall and I look inside and I see an adult doing Taekwondo, I won't have respect for you. I'm sorry, even though I should, because you can probably beat my ass. And then my favorite tree is the Joshua tree, Aaron. The Joshua tree is so sick. It is emblematic of the Mojave Desert. I think truly it should be the SoCal tree. It would still look pretty sick on an In-N-Out cup. If you don't know what Joshua Tree is, it's an album by U2. Pretty sick album. But also it's, you know, a national park. It's got great rocks. It's got great, you know, hikes the right time of year. Otherwise it's too hot. And it's where you can go to absolutely trip balls on shrooms. You can go there, get an Airbnb, post in the jacuzzi and just chill. It's a nice little getaway. You know, it doesn't have the bang for the buck that the Yosemite might have with those beautiful cascades and some other trees that I'm going to get to in a second that are out there that are tight. But Joshua Tree is a very, very sick ass place, dude. The Joshua Tree develops one branch once they reach 3 to 9 feet. The foliage develops, and it's really, really beautiful. They have small, creamy white flowers, at the end of long pinnacles and turn into light green seed pods. They're an important food source for small mammals and birds. They provide the living environment for a lot of desert species. So a harshest environment, they thrive, which SoCal and LA can be. It's a harsh, difficult place. A lot of people look at this place, they go, it's the place of stars and Hollywood and this and that. And, everyone's got a new diet every 2 weeks. But the majority of LA is hardworking people grinding their ass in traffic to get by, working 2 jobs. It is. And I think the Joshua tree, springing up out of that desert sand, struggling under the beaming sun, really is a beautiful, emblematic, and poetic tree that I think should be the true SoCal tree. Now, does it look sick and does it grow as high as a palm tree? No. It just doesn't have that aesthetic value that you want from the palm tree. It's a dank ash tree. But another dank ash tree, Aaron, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, is the redwood, the North American redwood tree. You have these coastal redwoods, and I think maybe even the biggest trees in the world right here in California. You can drive a car under them. They're estimated between, I'm reading about one that's 700 years old. Aaron, you said you saw some trees. You went on a vacation to check out trees. I think that's a good ass vacation.
Yeah. Sequoia, man. Those things are massive. 1,100 years old, some of them.
Dude, think about that. You go up there and you touch that tree. You're literally touching the past, dude.
Mm-hmm.
How sick is that, dude?
It's nuts.
They're so fucking sick. They're so sick.
Just huge. Wide, round, everywhere. 300 feet tall.
It makes you appreciate Joe's hog.
Yeah. Definitely don't put those in your front yard and try to trim them.
That's the thing. If you really want to get back at your HOA, homeowners association, plant a fucking redwood there, dude. You know what I mean? A lot of trees are protected, dude. California oaks, beautiful trees. Dude, they're so tight. I mean, I'm just looking at facts right now about them. One of the guys here at ATC was saying, like, during the wildfires, they specifically put big ass, I don't know if it's like an actual tarp or whatever, but they guard them, like kind of how they guard Napa Valley. They have, they're super protected and shit from fires. It's because if they burn down, what a bust, dude. What a bummer.
Yeah.
So much history lost. And they provide so much environment. There's a lot of other trees that grow below them that are still big ass trees, conifers, dude, shit like that, dude. Fucking Douglas firs, dude, shit like that. Other, deciduous trees growing beneath them, and really just central to any habitat, dude. So, or their habitat, these coastal trees. I mean, it's so sick, dude. They grow up to 150 feet by 50 years old, 200 feet by 100 years. They're just so sick, dude. There's a genetic potential. I'm reading this now. The largest, how if you cut the stump, when you cut a tree, you count the rings. It's like a ring for every year. There's a ring that they found in California, coastal site, adequate water, low fire risk, no subject to harvest. It's where record heights have been achieved. There's an old stump that was there that was found, and it had 2,200 rings, dude. So genetic potential of living 2,000 years. That's as long. That goes back to freaking Jesus, dude. Think about that, dude. Fucking put that in your pipe and smoke it, dude. Just had to give the redwoods the respect they deserve, dude. Had to. Sequoias are also sick as hell. Don't sleep on sequoias, dude. Sleep under them. Good shit. But anyways, if you want to keep it palm, dude, I just want to give a shout out to some sick ass types of palm trees real quick. The king palm, it's a fast grower, gets up to 40 feet. These leaves are a little more plumage silver coloring underneath. It can take partial or full sun so they can stand the heat. Very nice. But my favorite might be the queen palm. 25 feet, 15-foot arching fronds. So you really get that big plumage. And it requires a little less water. It's pretty drought tolerant. You get your pygmy date palm, so smaller. Good for SoCal homes, you know what I mean, dude? Grow slowly. They get to about 10 feet. They do have sharp thorns. This might be one that, I was talking about the badass dude as a bulldog. He'd probably have a pygmy date palm, and since it's only 10 feet, he might put it in the back of his lifted Ford Raptor, which he has, but it's on hydraulics, so he can lift it down and cruise around. If you see a dude just cruising around with a palm tree in the back, that's badass, dude. He brings it to other people. Imagine that power move, dude. People like to bring their Great Danes in to eat with them. Imagine if you go, this is my plant. My plant's name is freaking Righteous Bruce. And he's going to fucking eat in this restaurant with me. And if he doesn't, I'm gonna freaking just vape in your face. It's badass. You got the Pindo palm, 20 feet, full sun. Will do in some shade. The Kentia palms, thin. So my dong of palms, very thin. Not my dong of palms, slow grower, which, I'm not a grower or a shower, but this thing gets up to 30 feet. One of the more elegant looking palms. And you'll be able to find this at wherever you want. Any nursery it can handle it. And then the Mediterranean fan palm. Multiple trunks, so it's the cool looking one. That's kind of, I think, what you see actually on the In-N-Out trunk, because you have the two trees. I think that is technically the In-N-Out emblem is a Mediterranean fan palm. Sometimes you'll get them in threes. So pretty freaking badass. I mean, I'm fired up on these trees. Aaron, what type of trees? Think about this, dude. Anytime me and my dank-ass fiance drive down a street. Now, we chose the street we live on now because it has sick-ass palm trees, dude. Hipsters cruise by and they take pictures on our street, okay? That's sick. Now, we loved the street because it was wide. You could do a U-turn on it, not a multi-point turn, which is huge for LA. And it has nice trees. Anytime we go to a nice street, often you might not even be thinking it, but subconsciously you're going, there's sick-ass trees here. My bro Joe has a home. Him and his dank-ass to-be wife. I'll be officiating their wedding coming up. Very honored, highly honored. They've got a sick-ass tree in their yard. And they go, we love this tree. You know what I mean? So sick. Now, they're not bad neighbors. They don't let a branch grow out over their neighbor's yard and be a fire hazard. You got to prune the puppy. Also, real quick before I talk about how sick trees are subconsciously, and maybe I appreciate trees more now because I love shrooms, so I should say that. I've felt connected to the universe on a few occasions now, and that's sick as hell, dude. I look at trees and you know what I say? I go, that's rad. When I'm just on shrooms, dude, I just like to look at trees and just go, that's rad, dude. Just how friggin' tall and old they are and so chill. It's rad. Ents from Lord of the Rings, dude. I'm like, Ents are the sickest characters, dude. Just don't be hasty. My bros are like, dude, let's go get burritos. I'm like, dude, don't be hasty. I'm looking at these trees. They're so sick. The burritos will be there in half an hour. So sick. Ents, dude. Sick.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, dude, I'm freaking stoked on these things. They're so sick. Now look, I think it was a good call on marketing to bring palm trees out here. Cacti are pretty sick looking, but the desert's already got that. A palm tree on the beach, I mean, it's just the right look. It's why you go to Thailand. That and to see a ping pong ball show. Convertible Craig. What? There's trees here? Didn't know that. Didn't know there's a ton of ping pong balls in my mouth. I can catch 3 at a time. What do you say? We answer a few questions. No. First, I want to hear what trees you have, Aaron.
Trees I have?
Yeah, you got to have some dank-ass trees, don't you, dude?
I have a big tree in my front yard. I have no clue what it is. And I kind of want to cut it down.
You want it gone.
It's huge.
You want a Paul Bunyan
It's
that
getting
shit.
bigger. It loses its thingy every year. Its bark is kind of coming
It's a dick?
off. No.
It's bark.
And then
Trees have dicks.
once a year for about a week, which just happened, it blooms and it's covered in bees. But they're okay.
Yep.
They don't hurt anybody.
Those are those natives. See, I really sold you guys earlier on the pod on attracting native life by planting native trees, but here's the thing I didn't tell you. A lot of those native animals fucking suck, dude. They're annoying, dude. They're like, when I'm sipping my coffee in my underwear in the cold, I don't want to see bees.
No.
You know, I'd like to see a few birds and go inside and talk about the birds and the bees with my fiance. Don't mind if I do.
Yeah. You walk outside barefoot because you forgot to get the mail yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and you go pick it up. You don't want to step on a bee.
No, you don't.
That may or may not be alive. You don't even know.
Still could get you.
Still can get you. And then you got that one puffy foot.
Sometimes you got to chop down that tree, dude.
Yeah.
Be George Washington. Tell your dad about it, dude.
This would require like a train, like a chain and
A crew. That's what I wanted to talk about, dude.
yeah.
Thank you for reminding me. At the hotel I work at, tons of palm trees. And these dudes, once a year, cruise out and they fucking shimmy up these trees in these boots and ropes and prune them up top with the fronds.
They make bank too, because it's not cheap to do that.
Oh, no, dude. They're risking their life. Dude, they're going up 80 feet in the air. Every time they go up there, they're risking it. And, dude, they're like sort of tied in with a little bit of rope, but not really. Like, no one's like kind of down below. It's like you can't rappel. They're just kind of in there and like leaning back using like old school like physics.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude. And just sawing shit down by hand. These guys are savages, dude. And so badass. I'm like, how do you get into this? It's like your father has to have done it.
Yeah.
Your dad has to be like, this is what we do in our family. This is who you are. Your last name is Braven. And you will go up there and do this, which is actually, I think, a movie where a character's name is Jason Momoa. And they're like a contracting company, dude. It's every Orange County dad's dream is to wear Under Armour, dude, and a flat belt hat and teach his son how to be a contractor. And then one day just beat some dude's asses for a contract. I wouldn't be mad at that. You know, if part of a contract discussion between two dudes like trying to practice arbitrage in suits, and they're like, and now we must wrestle for like who gets a better interest rate. I'm like, yeah, I would watch that on pay-per-view. Two businessmen wrestle. Two freaking 65-year-old dudes who are like a buck 35 between the two of them, just try to go at it. Be great. Like, remember that viral video of the two cyclists kind of fighting? It's hilarious. Anyway, dude, let's answer a Q, then bone out. This is from, I've had a question from this gentleman before. Dartimus de Tungus, Cunnilingus Maximus. That's to me. And then this guy is the Capri Sun Bandit, dude. Okay, here we go.
Whoa.
He says, salutations. My question or perhaps discussion is this is a long one. Have you ever thought of a correlation between the domestication of wolves and early human evolution? Dude, I actually watched a Yuval Noah Harari clip on this where he's like, wolves chose us. We always think of this narrative like where one man like saves a runt and the runt is like okay with being fed and like they go on like two dudes, just a guy like hunting and then his wolf having the heightened senses and they're a team and they cuddle at night and like take out prey, which that did happen. But wolves were smart and they're like, these humans kill an animal but don't really eat all the organs and they leave some meat on the bone, so we're just going to kind of follow them around and get the meal.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy. And then they're also, we're like, well, these humans are hunting for us, so like if there's a threat to them, like we will bark and wake them up. And it sort of like naturally occurred, like, oh, if like a bear or something or like a woolly mammoth or whatever the fuck was coming towards them, they would bark and then the humans would be alerted. So it was this sort of symbiotic relationship that happened. So yes, I've thought about that. And I learned that shit on Instagram, dude.
Yeah.
So social media is not all bad.
You toss them a little beef for their
Yeah.
troubles.
Yeah, and it's freaking cute. Now I have a 20-pound dog that's got a little hot spot and wears a cone, dude. It's so cute. It's unbelievable, dude. Let's see. He's got a lot of different questions here. Okay.
I mean, who else would they have Who else would they have joined forces with,
Yeah, wolves aren't going to go hang out with bears. They're going to get eaten. Wolves aren't going to go hang out with gorillas. Maybe gorillas, dude. I mean, there's always that calendar that your friend gets you around the holidays. It's like uncommon friends where like a duck's a friend with like a buffalo or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of freaking cute.
Yeah.
Let's see here. But that's like an outlier, not the whole species. Let's see, let's just continue. He asks a lot of questions. But at surface level, I know that the earliest signs of early human evolution was the creation and use of tools. But would those tools have been made if it had not been for the most righteous, fuzzy good boys and girls, aka dogs, to protect us while our early ancestors slept, granting us longer slumbers which allowed our brains to develop? Yeah, bro. I think that's all fucking true, dude. I think that played a role. I think the communal aspect of humans, getting up to groups of about 150, they say it takes a village to raise a child. Yeah, the longer slumber, the bigger diet, the development of the tools, the access to better nutrients, all of that, definitely I think dogs lent a paw in. And so did, and therefore the development of tools and everything. What came first, the chicken or the egg? I think you got to say the access to nutrients. So maybe the dogs were like a natural tool that we had for hunting and getting those nutrients. And then from that came spears and shit and everything that allowed us to have a higher protein diet, set up camps and grow out as societies. And yeah. So I think, yeah. And then after that, we learned how to invent corporations, and friggin' In-N-Out Burger was next. So let's fucking go, dude. So that fires me up. It's a great question, dude. Maybe do one more than bone out. Yo, Strider, what up? I accidentally hit myself in the nuts while I was getting down with my Dank GF. Unchill. Totally killed my stoke. Late. Kyle. It's not a question. I'm glad you guys are getting down. I don't know how you hit yourself in the nuts. But hey, anything's possible, dude. Hopefully you guys were still able to, consummate the bond like two eagles falling down from the sky. So I'm fired up, dude. I'm fired up on trees. Next time you're out, appreciate those trees, dude. Say stop and smell the flowers. We'll stop and frickin' do some shrooms and look at a tree for half an hour. Kidding, dude. Don't. I'm not perpetuating drug use on this podcast. I'm just saying I've had a few nice experiences, but you have to be careful, and never do any substances and operate any heavy machinery. Or don't try to shimmy up a palm tree, like one of those dudes in the cruise who are so sick. So I'm freaking fired up. I want you guys to stay stoked. Great questions this episode. Fired up on all of that. Questions, comments, suggestions, StriderWilsonShreds@gmail.com. Leave a review. Check out the Chad and JT tour. We're coming to a city near you, dude. We're still cruising. We still got plenty of cities to hit before the new year is out. Check out the Netflix show. Chad and JT Go Deep, narrated by your boy. So freaking sick, dude. Thank you, freaking Danktorians. We'll catch you on the next one, dude.